What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we're back with another lit video, back in the confessional and back on some BS, man. Shout out to my everyday people who up in this thing every day. Shout out to my homie Lucky and the whole Lucky Nation. Hey, and shout out to my girl Cordy and the Courtney Chronicles, okay? Check out Courtney Chronicles on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Also check out Lucky Wheels and Deals and Everyday Thing with PJ on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, okay? Everyday Thing when you let your nuts hang. Let's get into Master P. He is on a mission, good guys. I am not gonna hold you. Let's get into it.
I'm so glad to see you. I'm so sorry it's under these circumstances because it's not the natural order of things for parents to outlive their children.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard.
Coming from where I come from, coming from poverty, you would think that you would outlive your kids, and that was the mission.
Yeah.
And I feel like going to my daughter's funeral, I feel like I went to my own funeral, and I don't even want to go to no more funerals.
How were you notified, Percy, that she had?
My other daughter called me. It was the worst call that a parent can get. And knowing that you are successful, and my sympathy go out to everybody that lost a child. When you look at this, and I said, I'm gonna turn my pain into passion, and I'm gonna turn it into a purpose, because I can't get my daughter back.
Yeah.
I love her, I think about her every day, and it took me and my family to go through something that I just can't stop thinking about, but I realized that I have to get out here and help and save other kids. So,
But did you think she was getting better? Because, she had...
Man, you could tell in his voice, man. Master P always talk like he crying, but man, you could tell this shit, he really crying. He really hurt. It took him a lot of courage to come out and talk about this, because this is probably still hurting in his heart, like, to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is relatively new. And I got a good story for y'all after this. So stay tuned, because I'm going to speak on this. I'm going to speak on something that's very close to me, and why this is so, like, this makes so much sense and impactful right now to my situation. So I'm going to just stay tuned, okay?
You had talked very openly about it. You as a family had talked very openly about getting her help on the show. Did you think she was getting better?
oh yeah, no, she was getting better. We had just got out of rehab, and she was on the right track. And the sad thing about it, I know that, my daughter said, I want to be the president. I want, she was getting herself, like, I want to do something to help people. And that's why I said, my daughter has been my parachute, and she was writing a book. I said, we have to get rid of the negative things and replace it with positive things.
When you look back on it, do you think that there are things that you should have done, not have done, things you should have said that you didn't said? Are you playing that tape in your head?
Oh, no, every parent do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have done more. I feel like, but you never know. Like, you think, we've been going through this for 9 years, so you think, oh, you know what? She's going to get past this. We're going to go on and live happily ever after.
She's an adult.
And she's an adult.
Yeah.
It's been plenty of times to where I was in situations that I had to.
And when he say they've been going through this for 9 years, let me let y'all understand, she been dealing with this since a teenager. You know what I'm saying? In her teenage years, she was, influenced by different people. You know what I'm saying? And some people cannot handle addiction like others. Like, I've seen people that look good, that done drugs for a long time, and they got off of it and look good. I've seen people that done drugs and couldn't handle it, and just life just went to shit fast. I've seen people their life went to shit, and then they got their life together, but they still look like shit, man. It's all.
To even if the police was involved, like, she could go where she wants. She's over 18, so I had to deal with that struggle and pain. But my daughter had a lot of life left in her.
Yeah.
And she was a happy woman that knew that tomorrow she could do something better. So,
And when something like this happens, it affects the whole family.
yes.
What?
Just to think right there. Just to think right there that he knows that his daughter, she was in a position that she could have changed her life had she got off of drugs, had she beat that addiction, but the addiction was too powerful for her mind to overcome. That addiction was more strong than her will to be successful. And that's unfortunate for some people, that when addiction has that control over you, like you don't have the power over it. Like smoking, drinking, we all have addictions that we can't stop. Some people have sex addictions, some people, have porn addiction, some people have food addictions. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird ass addictions that people can't stop. And unfortunately, if you have a drug addiction, that's one of the things that kill you. You can have a lot of addictions that can kill you or put you in a compromising position. Like people that have sex addictions always end up in a compromising position with their family, friends, jobs. You know what I'm saying? We had a guy that was jacking off at work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? And come to find out, this probably shouldn't have got out, but however it got out, dude had a sex addiction. You know what I'm saying? And he had to go get treatment, but unfortunately, he lost his job over there because he just has this thing where he has to have sex or has to bust a nut or whatever, and he lost his job. So shit, addictions is tough, man. And if you like I said, I'm going off point, but Master P, his daughter knew she had a life outside of that addiction, but that addiction held her down so bad, it's fucked up. So get into it.
What did you do as a family to get through this? What have you been doing? What are you saying?
Well, my thing
yourselves?
is anybody that's watching this, love your loved ones while they're here, because once you walk out that door, you never know who's gonna come back.
Did you speak to your own family about it?
Yeah,
What did you do
I did a family meeting, and
after her death?
yes.
And what did you say in the family meeting?
Well, I asked my kids, I say, what am I doing wrong? And so, some of the kids say, you are controlling. So I had to look in my own mirror and say, that's true, but I've only built parameters for protection out of love, because I know where I come from and what I've been through. And when you look at mental illness and substance abuse, it's serious. It affects everybody, black, white, Asian, Latino, rich.
You hear that? I want to say this. Master P just said that his kids called him controlling. This man ran a multi-million-dollar empire, sold billions of records, being in control, and he comes home, gives his kids whatever they want, and what do they say? You're controlling. Hey man, listen. As a father, you'll never be the best. You can be the worst, but you'll never be the best. You can be the best, but there's always gonna be something they can find that can hold you back. And it's you as a father, you have to take that and be like, listen to what they say and understand it. You don't have to change. You don't have to recognize that your fault, because you are a man and you have built what your life is. So if your life is good, then you built it. If your life is bad, shit, you built it, and you either need to change or figure it out or stay with it. But if your life is good, you don't have to change too much, but you probably have to change a little bit based on what your family's reactions. Being controlling is not something that you have to change, because being controlling is what got you to the position that you in. Being controlling is what got the kids to the position that they in. But unfortunately, it got them to a position where they were accessible to certain things. And look what happened to his daughter. She could access drugs so easy and get the money and get the funds to do whatever she needed to do. And it was just, and think about it like this: if she was poor, she'll probably be in the slums of shit doing the worst drugs. If she was poor, trying to struggle. That's the thing. When people are poor, they be struggling. Like she was rich. She had family taking her to rehab and stuff like that. So but that was a tough drug addiction. Like if her family had all that, she had all that support. Didn't have to do it in the slums. Think about it, like this. Who was it? Dr. Dre's daughter? Dr. Dre's daughter out here doing bad. You know what I'm saying? Living in the slums, poor. Strung out and shit like that. That's what I'm saying. Like Master P's daughter unfortunately died, and Dr. Dre's daughter's still out here wilding out.
Poor. You look at now fentanyl, just a little thing of fentanyl, it's destroying
Take your
families.
life,
Take your
yeah.
life. I watched on the news today to where a mother was talking about her son was a good kid and he just went left one time and brought some pill and it killed him. So my thing is, it hurts so much as a family. Like we go, so for me, I broke so many stereotypes, and I'm telling my kids, I told my son Romeo, I said, you know what, I broke a whole lot of stereotypes and curses that now you got to break, because he's my hero. Romeo is my hero.
Romeo is, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like now he could change the next generation.
Because you work so hard to make sure that they didn't have the life that you had.
Yes.
Isn't that the point you're
Yes,
making?
and it's tough because when you lose somebody, they're not coming back. So when I got that phone call, I realized that my daughter's never coming back.
Yeah.
And that's the heartbreaking thing about this. And that's why I said, let me team up with NAMI, let me team up with ARJ Cares. These are doctors. These are people that believe. I want to help people that look like us. We want to bring awareness to this. We want to save these. My whole purpose is now is, I don't know why you put me through this, God, and I'm not gonna question you, but I'm gonna get out here and save millions. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna do something.
And so your bottom line message to people who are worried about their own children or who are going through this is to do what?
You know what? Talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't hold this as
People
a
are
secret.
afraid to talk about
Stop, because when you talk about mental illness and you talk about substance abuse, people don't want to say this happened to my kid. But this is affecting us as Americans. If this is affecting people international, don't be afraid. And I'm even telling companies all across the world, like, stop holding this as a secret, because, even me starting the brand Soldier Snacks, I say, you know what? It's so many mental illness when you deal with soldiers going out there fighting for us, for our country. But who talks to these people? Who comfort them? Even like my daughter, when she's going through something, or her friends, because we just dealt with several of her friends losing their lives, and we never thought this would hit our house.
Well, nobody ever does, but people are looking at you today saying,
Yes.
if it can happen to you and
Yes.
all that you have, it can happen to anybody.
Yes.
Shut up, Gail. Anyway, this is a serious subject. But I don't like Gail. She full of shit. Anyway, shout out to Gail. Shout out to the NBC cast. All right, let's get into it, man. Master P. Master P, big dog. Anyway, I'm gonna get into my story because we already heard Master P's story. We heard enough about it. But anyway, I got a cousin, man. I was talking about my cousin that recently passed, and he was like, you know what I'm saying, he was out there. So it's kind of like, you got family that's out there, and you be like, man, you try to do whatever. Man, I could tell you a story, man. I ain't gonna tell no story, but it's just a wild ass crazy story with my cousin. It's just, I was just like, damn, man. And I'm sitting there just like, man, speechless. And now, with everything that just happened, you just get to call and you be like, you just speechless, because you already know. And it's just fucked up because you always be anticipating these things, and you don't never want to get that call, but there's a chance that one day you could get that call. You don't want that call, and then you just always anticipate when somebody call your phone, and that when they say, hey, when they say your name. I hate when people call me on my phone and be like, PJ. Like, God damn, you put me straight in suspense mode. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they like, it's just a bunch of shit. So I always be thinking about that. You don't never want to bury your kids. And of course, man, if at some point or another, you got to bury one of your parents, both of your parents, you know what I'm saying? Step parents, grandparents, you know what I'm saying? It's just inevitable. But when they're young and they have a whole life ahead of them, you want them to see 25, you want them to see 40, you want them to see 50. You know what I'm saying? You want to see that, because listen, I haven't even seen 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like, tomorrow's not promised. And so when we see these people that don't make it past 25, don't make it past 20, don't make it past, then let me switch scenes. shit don't make it past like you know, they just don't make it past life. They don't make it past life for whatever reason. And when it comes to like overdosing, I didn't know anybody that overdosed until I moved to Moore. And then I used to hear about people overdosing all the time, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was because I never heard about people overdose. I heard about people getting killed. I never really got into pills. I seen them, but you know, pills wasn't the thing that was just like rampant in my neighborhood or in my school. You know, but it was when I went to a different school that you know all the pills and you know shrooms and different hydroponic weeds and shit like that. It was like, you know, that type of shit. It was like you hear about overdose, overdose, overdose. I was like, damn, everybody dying around this motherfucker. But I was like, that's what made me never want to do drugs. Like through high school, I didn't do no drugs. I mean, I smoked weed in my you know, junior and senior year, but like I wasn't popping no pills. I wasn't drinking and shit like that in high school. And I had friends that was doing it, and I'd just be around them like, man, nah, I'm cool on that shit. So it wasn't until after I got out of high school, I think I didn't start drinking till I was like 20, 19, 20, probably 19. I didn't start drinking shit, you know. I was grown when I started drinking, pretty much out the house. I wasn't living at my mama's house, but even then, I mean, I think we started, you know, ecstasy come around. I had done some volumes, but I never was into pills and hard drugs. And reason I'm gonna tell you the reason why I wasn't into hard drugs is because I seen the effects of it like firsthand. I said, and crack was it. I was like, don't touch crack. The rule of the motherfucking world: don't touch crack. Don't smoke it. Don't even touch it with your hands. Like even when you dealing with it, like deal with it in with gloves on in plastic every time, and that was the rule, and we never broke it. You know, there was some people that broke it though. Not none of my friends, but there was some people that broke it. You know, and shit happens, and that's what happens when you break the seal, you break the rule, you touch the crack, you become a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? You don't supposed to touch the crack. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when people they sell coke. They always chopping it up. They ain't wearing no mask. They, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no gloves on. They just chopping it up. They tasting it. Man, sooner or later you gonna start snorting it. Sooner or later you gonna start smoking. Sooner or later you gonna start shooting it up. And you know it just that's the cycle. So, you know the rule is don't touch the crack. Don't touch it. And that's what you know. And a lot of people, when you hang with people that do it, like say you selling it, and you hanging with the people that selling it, duh, you gon' I mean, hang with the people that smoking it. Not, you hang with the people that smoking it, you gonna be, you know, smoking it with them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I remember one time I seen a pregnant woman. I think I was like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, and a pregnant woman came around and bought some PCP, man. I was just like, man, that's fucked up. And she sat on the couch talking to me, and I was just like, man, this girl crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, get away from this motherfucker. It's like she just, you know, she just act like everything was normal, man. And that's the effects of drugs and addiction. That you know, it is what it is, man. I done seen some crazy ass addictions. Like, I don't want to be talking about all the addictions I done seen because you know it's more, a lot of people I know personally. You know what I'm saying? So it don't even matter. But it's some stories. You know what I'm saying? Offline, maybe one day if I do a paid, if I do paid, y'all pay for the stories. I tell the good stories. If y'all pay for it, we're gonna get some paid stories up in here. Everyday people, let me know if y'all want to hear the paid stories. These are the ones where people that went down. Look at that. Everyday people, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler at you later. Peace.